Letters, emails, Facebook, texts. December 18th. Dear Mr. Tushman, I am very, very sorry for punching Julian. It was very, very wrong for me to do that. I'm writing a letter to him to tell him that too. If it's okay, I would really rather not tell you why I did that because it doesn't really make it right anyways. Also, I would rather not make Julian get in trouble for having said something he should not have said. Very sincerely, Jack Will. Dear Julian, I am very, very, very sorry for hitting you. It was wrong of me, and I hope you're okay. I hope your grown-up tooth grows in fast. Mine always do. Sincerely, Jack Will. December 26th. Dear Jack, thank you so much for your letter. One thing I've learned after being a middle school director for 20 years, there are almost always more than two sides to every story. Although I don't know the details, I have an inkling about what may have sparked the confrontation with Julian. While nothing justifies striking another student, ever, I also know good friends are sometimes worth defending. And this has been a tough year for a lot of students, as the first year of middle school usually is. Keep up the good work, and keep being the fine boy we all know you are. All the best. Lawrence Tushman, Middle School Director. An email from to Mr. Tushman from Melissa Albans. Subject, Jack Will. Dear Mr. Tushman, I spoke with Amanda and John Will yesterday, and they expressed their regret at Jack's having punched our son, Julian, in the mouth. And I'm writing to let you know that my husband and I support your decision to allow Jack to return to Beecher Prep after a 2-day suspension. Although I think hitting a child would be valid grounds for expulsion in other schools, I agree such extreme measures aren't warranted here. We have known the Will family since our boys were in kindergarten and are confident that every measure will be taken to ensure this does not happen again. To that end, I wonder if Jack's unexpectedly violent behavior might have been as a result of too much pressure being placed on his young shoulders. I am speaking specifically of the new child with special needs who both Jack and Julian were asked to befriend. In retrospect, and having now seen the child in question at various school functions and in the class pictures, I think it may have been too much to ask of our children to be able to process all that. Certainly, when Julian mentioned that he was having a hard time befriending the boy, we told him that he was off the hook in that regard. We think the transition to middle school is hard enough without having to place greater burdens on or hardships on these young, impressionable minds. I should also mention that, as a member of the school board, I was a little disturbed that more consideration was not given during this child's application process to the fact that Beecher Prep is not an inclusion school. There are many parents, myself included, who question the decision to let this child into our school at all. At the very least, I am somewhat troubled that this child was not held to the same stringent application standards in the interview that the rest of the incoming middle school students were. Best, Melissa Perper Albans, Julian's mom. Pshh! Wow, somebody's on their high horse. My goodness, lady. Now this is to Julian's mom, Melissa, from Mr. Tushman, responding. Dear Mrs. Albans, thank you for your email outlining your concerns. Were I not convinced that Jack Will is extremely sorry for his actions, and were I not confident that he would not repeat those actions, rest assured that I would not be allowing him back to Beecher Prep. As for your other concerns regarding our new student, August, please note that he does not have special needs. He is neither disabled, handicapped, nor developmentally delayed in any way, so there was no reason to assume anyone would take issue with his admittance into Beecher Prep, whether it is an inclusion school or not. In terms of the application process, the admissions director and I both felt it within our own right to hold the interview off-site at August's home for reasons that are obvious. We felt that this slight break in protocol was warranted, but in no way prejudicial in one way or another to the application review. August is an extremely good student and has secured the friendship of some truly exceptional young people, including Jack Will. At the beginning of the school year, when I enlisted certain children to be welcoming committee to August, I did so as a way of easing his transition into a school environment. I did not think asking these children to be especially kind to a new student would place any extra burdens or hardships on them. In fact, I thought it would teach them a thing or two about empathy and friendship and loyalty. As it turns out, Jack Will didn't need to learn any of these virtues. He already had them in abundance. Thank you again for being in touch. Sincerely, Lawrence Tushman. So, wow, what do you guys think about his response, huh? Very professional. They're saying things in a very correct way without saying things. So, how do you think Julian's mom's going to respond to that? Okay, now here's another email, and this is to Melissa, again, from John Will, and he also included the principal, a subject of Jack. Hi, Melissa. Thank you for being so understanding about this incident with Jack. As you know, Thank you for being so understanding about this incident with Jack. He is, as you know, extremely sorry for his actions, and I hope you do accept our offer to pay Julian's dental bills. We are very touched by your concern regarding Jack's friendship with August. Please know that we have asked Jack if he felt any undue pressure about any of this, and the answer was a resolute no. He enjoys August's company and feels like he has made a good friend. Hope you have a happy new year, John and Amanda Will. So they were included on this other email from Melissa to the principal. And so they were like, hey, no pressure here. Jack has a new friend. No big deal. The only one with the big deal, and the only issue she has is the way he looks. He doesn't have any needs or anything. And even if he did, wow, really? But she's only basing all of her judgments on how he looks. And that is just the saddest kind of person of all. Now, August gets a notification from Facebook here. Hi, August. Jackalope Will wants to be friends with you on Facebook. Jackalope Will, 32 mutual friends. Thanks, the Facebook team. To Augie Doggy Pullman at email.com. So here's an email. Sorry. Message. Hey, August. It's me, Jack Will. I notice I'm not on your friends list anymore. Hope you friend me again because I'm really sorry. I just wanted to say that. Sorry. I know why you're mad at me now. I'm sorry I didn't mean the stuff I said. I was so stupid. I hope you can forgive me. Hope we can be friends again, Jack. Text message on from August on New Year's Eve. Got your message. You know why I'm mad at you now? Did Summer tell you? She told me Bleeding Scream as a hint, but I didn't get it at first, and then I remember seeing Bleeding Scream in homeroom on Halloween. Didn't know it was you. Thought you were coming as Boba Fett. I changed my mind last minute. Did you really punch him? Yeah, I punched him, knocked out a tooth in the back, a baby tooth. Why did you punch him? I don't know. Liar. I bet he said something about me, right? He's a jerk, but I was a jerk too. Really, really, really sorry for what I said, dude, okay? Can we be friends again? Okay. Awesome! But tell me the truth, okay? Would you really want to kill yourself if you were me? No, I swear on my life, but dude, I would want to kill myself if I were Julian. Now hold on a second. Wait, time out. He just repeats it, but says it about somebody else. Now, I know he's trying to be friends with Augie and he's trying to lighten the mood here, but this is not okay to ever talk like that. Ever. Never. Never. Bad joke. Bad joke. Yes, let's be friends again. Back from winter break. Despite what Tushman said, there was no clean slate when I went back to school in January. In fact, things were totally weird from the second I got to my locker in the morning. I'm next to Amos, who's always been a pretty straight up kid, and I was like, yo, what up? And he basically just nodded a half hello and closed his locker door and left. I was like, okay, that was bizarre. And then I said, hey, what up, to Henry, who didn't even bother, half smiling, just looked away. Okay, so something's up. Dissed by 2 people in less than 5 minutes. Not that anyone's counting. I thought I'd try one more time with Tristan, and boom, same thing. He actually looked nervous, like he was afraid of talking to me. I've got a form of the plague now, is what I thought. This is Julian's payback. And that's pretty much how it went all morning. Nobody talked to me. Not true, the girls were totally normal with me. And August talked to me, of course. And actually, I have to say both Maxes said hello, which made me feel kind of bad for never ever hanging out with them in the 5 years I've been in their class. I hoped lunch would be better, but it wasn't. I sat down at my usual table with Luca and Isaiah. I guess I thought since they weren't in the super popular group, but were kind of in the middle of the road jock kids, that I'd be safe with them. But they barely nodded when I said hello. And then, when our table was called, they got their lunches and never came back. I saw them find a table way over the other end of the cafeteria. They weren't at Julian's table, but they were near him, like on the fringe of popularity. So anyway, I'd been ditched. I knew table switching was something that happened in 5th grade, but I never thought it'd happen to me. It felt really awful being at the table by myself. I felt like everyone was watching me. It also made me feel like I had no friends. I decided to skip lunch and go read in the library. The war. It was Charlotte who had the inside scoop on why everyone was dissing me. I found a note inside my locker at the end of the day. Meet me in room 301 right after school. Come by yourself. Charlotte. So dramatic. She was already inside the room when I walked in. Sup? I said. Hey, she said. She went over to the door, looked to left and right, and then closed the door and locked it from the inside. Then she turned to face me and started biting her nails as she talked. Look, I feel bad about what's going on, and I just wanted to tell you what I know. Promise you won't tell anyone I talk to you. Promise. So Julian had this huge holiday party over winter break. She said, I mean huge. My sister's friend had her Sweet 16 at the same place last year. They were like 200 people there. So, I mean, it's a huge place. Yeah, and well, pretty much everybody in the whole grade was there. Not everybody, I joked. Right, not everybody, duh. But, like, even parents were there, you know? Like, my parents were there, you know. Julian's mom is the vice president of the school board, right? So she knows a lot of people. Anyway, so basically what happened at the party was that Julian went around telling everyone that you punched him because you had emotional problems. What? And that you had gotten expelled, but his parents begged the school not to expel you. What? And that none of it would have happened in the first place if Tushman hadn't forced you to be friends with Augie. He said his mom thinks that you, quote unquote, snapped under pressure. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. No one bought into that, right? I said. She shrugged. That's not even the point. The point is he's really popular, and you know my mom heard that his mom is actually pushing the school to review Augie's application to Beecher. Can she do that? It's about Beecher not being an inclusion school. There's a type of school that mixes normal kids with special needs. Well, that's just stupid. Augie doesn't have special needs. Yeah, but she's saying that if the school is changing the way they usually do things in some ways, but they're not changing anything. Yeah, they did. Didn't you notice that they changed the theme of the New Year's art show? In the past year, the 5th graders painted self-portraits, but this year they made us do those ridiculous self-portraits of animals, remember? So what's the big deal?